Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for another video. Today's video, or the third video that I have here for you guys, it's about the new game mode that will be replacing Siege Beyond. Instead, you will now have a more concentrated mode, like a more focused mode on the payload instead of the store. And here you have a brief explanation as to what this is. This is wrong, by the way. It says that people win with 5 points. It's actually 4. It would be a normal siege mode, and in here we're going to be able to see some gameplay. But basically, when you capture the point now, what happens is a cannon will show up. This cannon is from the alpha, if you guys remember, and the cannon will start move. Now, will start to move in the direction of the enemy spawn. Now, the difference is this cannon, this payload, will now just move on its own, but it will move faster the more allies it has near it. But you can heal it because the enemies can damage it. That's right. And once they damage it, I think that it has like a total of 10,000 HP or something like that. But we will see on PDS, and it may change numbers. The enemies will break it, and it will stop at that place. Now, of course, you have the time, the 2 minutes and 30 or whatever, to push the payload. And depending on where you, like who captured it, new points will now spawn. 2 little points will spawn, similar to what King of the Hill does, but it depends on like the map and who captured it, right? So we captured it, so now those points to heal, rebuild the payload will be between the point and the enemy spawn, okay? It will always be like this. I spoke to the person who's in charge of the maps. He said that he tried the best to make these points to be in the best places possible for every single map, okay? And basically, you're gonna have to go into these points that it should show here in a bit. You'll go into these points, and you will basically rebuild the payload. Once you have managed to rebuild it for 100%, it will then rebuild the payload, and it will continue. So right now it's at 0%, and it will explode and be damaged. So here you see the 2 different points. You'll stand on them and capture it, and just you see the percentage there on the payload that will rebuild it to make it function again. Now the enemies can and will contest those 2 points of healing. As you can see here, this is another point. So they can stand inside of that circle and stop you from rebuilding the payload. So you're gonna have to fight them off, capture that, and then rebuild the payload. And now the payload will come back with extra benefits, which is DR. Okay, so that the enemy doesn't just one-shot it again. I'm pretty sure that you will be able to use Drogo's ults against it, or maybe like a Vora ult or something like that, and just straight up execute it, or just damage it, or maybe not. Maybe it has to be like, you know, damage abilities, just like, you know, straight up direct hits, etc. So we'll get to see that on PDS. We'll try it out. But yeah, very much, it's not very complicated. The story will be the normal story that you would have, Nimbles and Kronos's, Death Hands, etc. And once you fix it, it will start moving slowly on its own. As you can see here, like it'll still move. Right now it got destroyed, but you don't need to be on it. And the enemy obviously will slow it down. But then you'll fight the enemy so that you can keep pushing it, and you can make it move faster. So this is why the entire intention of between, you know, destroying it and healing it is there, so that, you know, as you can see here, it was moving without even having the Dumba there. So yeah, it's pretty similar almost to what existed back in the alpha. I don't know if you guys are aware how the alpha worked, but it was massive maps, and it had 3 different points. And one of them would become active. Now people would fight for control of this point, and whoever won that fight, it would spawn a payload for them, and it will then charge this cannon really fast, zooming through the map until the enemies spawn, because it had gates, and it would start attacking those gates. And obviously you could damage the payloads and etc. But if you destroy it, what would happen is now one of the 3 different points would now become active again, and you would have to fight over it again and again. So this could actually mean that a game could go as far as 1 hour or more, possibly. So they did like a hybrid or current Siege, but with those features, right? And it's fantastic. I think it's amazing. It's an amazing idea. Way better than the Siege Beyond, even though I'm gonna be honest, there were some items on the Siege Beyond mode that I actually enjoyed, and I'm sad to see them go, but who knows, maybe they'll bring them back. As you can see here, the enemy is shooting at them, and he was able to, with the Sky Smoke and Dagger, was able to heal them. You see here the healing numbers right there on the payload. So yeah, if you have any questions, any further questions about this, feel free to ask them down below. I'll try to help you as much as possible. And if I don't have the answers, I'll try to ask the developers and then answer you later on, okay? But this is pretty much it for this new mode. Feel free to come into the patch notes and try to read through these things. But you might come across some, you know, some questions. And yeah. That's pretty much it for this mode. I hope you guys end up testing it a lot on PDS, because I don't think this is to replace our current Siege, but if it ends up becoming perfected, it actually may be a good option, you know, a good extra mode that we can just, you know, I don't want to play Siege today, I want to play this prototype card mode, you know, and it looks amazing to me. So thank you so much for watching. That is it for this this video. I will be coming up shortly with another video talking about the bug fixes and balance changes so that I can help you out, because there are some things there that you might not understand, and I'll be trying to explain them as fast and as easy as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and again, don't forget that when PDS is up, I will be testing this out on my Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/creepersyt. I'll see you guys there, and until then, have a wonderful time. Bye bye.